What did he just? He just got one shot. Why are you, bruh? One of my favorite things about Warframe is how the endgame is basically just who can play the least amount of Warframe for the longest. And today, I have my xaku build, which I use in my defenses, my survivals, my interceptions, anything like that, just to AFK for resources or anything else. And I'm here to share that with you guys here today. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, before we get started, real quick, because I know people have been asking me, my videos are really short. I know. The whole point is that I'm not one of those Warframe YouTubers that takes 25 minutes to explain why a gun shoots in the forward direction instead of the backward direction. And so I won't do things like explain what each mod does individually. I expect that you guys are able to use the wiki and all that stuff. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I want to save your time. So let's go ahead and hop straight into the build. So what we're building for here is going to be ability range and ability strength. Those are the two important ones. Now duration is great because it'll allow you to AFK, but you are mostly focusing on range. And the reason why is because stealing guns in a big radius and being able to shoot in a big radius, as well as fully armor stripping using gaze, part of Xaku's third ability, will make sure that all enemies that enter in that 70-meter circle just completely get annihilated. And duration really just only changes the 4, which is the thing that allows you to AFK. So you press your 4 after pressing all your abilities, and it pauses all the timers, and that allows you to just kind of sit there. Now you'll notice we also have a helminth on Xaku, which is Condemn from Harrow. And the reason why is because it plays a part in shield gate along with brief respite. Now if you don't know what shield gating is, you can I believe there are some tutorials on what it does and how to do it, but basically it's just to use that 1 second of invulnerability you get when your shields drop in order to constantly play around that, so you don't actually need a crazy high health frame or a crazy high shield frame. Another thing you'll notice about this build, if I go back, is that I have a ton of Archon shards here. My Archon shards are for ability strength and duration. You really want to make sure you're getting above 200% ability strength in order to get that maximum armor strip. And so without those Archon shards, if you don't have those, obviously you don't need to put them in. You can just swap out Augur Reach for Augur Secrets. And then I believe without the shards, it's at about 180%. So this will, with 24, push you above 200% for that full armor strip. But if you do have them, use them because it makes it great. Now for our arcanes, we have Arcane Energize because our efficiency is absolutely dog. So having Prime Flow in here to make sure you can have a big energy pool and cast a lot of your abilities all at once, instead of having efficiency, which will allow you to cast them like several times with a low amount of energy. Arcane Energize will make sure you're always topped up every time you go and pick up loot. And then Molt Augmented, the way that it works is that more kills you get, the higher ability strength you get, and this gives you plus 60. Now again, if you don't have the Archon shards or if you want to keep maximum range, you can just use Molt Augmented in order to buff your ability strength above 200%. It'll get to about 240, and that'll push it to the full armor strip range. So you can also use this if you don't have the other two mods or the Archon shards. Alright, so for our example today, I'm going to be using Survival because Survival is what most people are going to be using this build for. So what I'm going to do right now is pop an energy pool just to keep it topped up so I don't need to wait too long. And then we're going to wait for the enemies to spawn. So you notice they come through every single doorway here, and I can stand right here, perfectly not in the line of fire. And then press my 2, press my 1 to shield gate, press my 4 to extend the duration, and then we find an enemy to toss the 3 on. Maybe 2 of them, just to be safe. And now you'll notice all their health is red. And then as soon as they walk into the area, they just get shot and die. In your upper right, you'll notice that we have 16. That means 16 guns have been stolen. And you'll see the 35, 36 counting slowly higher and higher. That is your Molt Augmented. That'll increase your ability strength with every kill. And 75% is the 75% dodge chance that you get when you press your 4. And you'll notice that I'm doing absolutely nothing. We just procced Arcane Energize, giving us 650 energy. That allowed me to reset my abilities later on after that 14-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Right, and then we can go back to AFK. The hardest part is when the Acolyte spawns, because obviously they do a ton of damage, they can one-shot you, so make sure you're using your 1 to shield gate, and then you use your 1 to also stun the Acolyte, and then from there you can use whatever weapons you brought along to take care of it. Now you'll notice in the beginning clip I actually used my on-call crew to one-shot him, but you don't really need to worry about that if you just use your 1 to shield gate and stun. And then obviously my timer ran out on my armor strip, so I'm just gonna recast that. And your guns still shoot while you're in operator mode. That's a bonus, yay! And that's the Xaku build for today. I hope you guys found this useful, and I hope this helps you play less Warframe for longer. I have more builds coming out soon, and an endo tutorial that I keep promising, so I'll see you when I post that. Have a good rest of your day.